Oh, what's going on? Is this the one running? Okay. All right. Okay, so this one is going. All right. Oof, man. Sweet Lord. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see you, Taryn. Jeez, this is so just a tiny bit annoying. Just a tiny bit. Let's use this one. Where is it? Nice, he declared war to hero. It might have. I think the bigger issue was I'm thinking it's the multi-streaming. That's what it felt more like to me, to be completely honest. Yeah, but I killed the multi-streaming. That was just not working out, I think. And to be honest, if that fails, if I still have issues, then I'll probably just try again tomorrow. Because yeah, this is pretty fucking annoying, but I'm thinking it is in multi-streaming, to be completely honest. But okay. Okay, I think we are good. I think we're good. I think we're fine and dandy. There's still a lot to go through. I'm very interested in what is going on. Okay. Type 1 if we're good. Eight. Guess that's close enough. But yeah, the internet issues have been very annoying. Like I said, I'm thinking it actually really is just multi-streaming, So I killed the multi-streaming. I'm only doing YouTube right now. If that doesn't stop the issue, then I give up. But hopefully it is just that. All right, let's continue. Also, the amusement park I saw was very dilapidated and completely different from its current appearance. This is about the memories that the commander just saw. In his memories, he saw an amusement park, but the amusement park looked very run down compared to the one that they're in now. This person here, this girl here, is also thinking that the commander is the one in charge here, because she remembers seeing everyone in their current group except for the commander. So everyone in the group right now is suspicious of the commander. And Florence, by the way. Is it all you want to confirm? Perhaps my gaze was defensive, and Esmek realized the explicit purpose of her words. No, I didn't mean to doubt you. I really didn't. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Esmet waved her hand in panic, her face turning red. However, the words she spoke almost completely betrayed her thoughts. I'll answer that question once this cutscene's over. It's okay, I don't mind. To be honest, I'm almost doubting myself. I smiled bitterly and waved my hand. However, after answering so many questions, let me also ask you some questions, right? Huh? Oh, okay. Sure. What exactly is Mia's punishment? She doesn't seem to have appeared in this trip. Sure enough, you also noticed. I saw it all. Those monsters called clowns dragged her away. Maybe she has already never come back. She will never come back. The roller coaster experience that was like a ridiculous farce just now was not a dream, but a real occurrence. It may even continue to happen in the future. So punishment is actually death. I didn't say it out loud, but Esmond nodded tactfully. Perhaps the number of tourists will only decrease in the future, and even if we want to cooperate and help each other, it may become increasingly difficult. Is there really anyone who can pass the level like this? Upon hearing Esme's words, I immediately counted the current number of tourists. Apart from me and Florence, there are still 12 tourists left. I understand. I will pay attention to the number of these tourists next. At least try not to let this number decrease again. Great, thank you. And Esme's face, which had just relaxed due to my response, quickly wrinkled again as she hugged her head in some pain. But if we continue to play, we might end up like Flora, dying in that dangerous facility. Do you think we really need to continue playing? Esme had a mournful expression on her face, completely unaware that a figure had quietly touched her back. Oh, are you also quitting the game? Florence suddenly poked her head between me and Esme, interrupting our conversation. Hey! Seeing the sudden appearance in Florence, Esme let out a scream and shook her hands in a panic. After seeing the clowns around her, she shook her head like a tambourine. No, of course not. Please, let me continue playing. Well, since everyone is here, should we start quickly? I can't wait any longer. Right, Commander? Florence squeezed between me and Esmond with a smile and took up my arm. Dear tourists, long wait. What's right in front of you now is Sweet Horror Night. In stark contrast to the cheerful atmosphere at the amusement park, a sinister and out-of-place building stands strangely in front of all visitors. The mottled and peeling exterior walls are adorned with rustled metal ornaments, as if they have experienced centuries of wind and frost. The door is slowly opening towards us, and with the pink sign hanging on its own, blown away by the wind. Inside the building, there is an endless darkness. Isn't it just a haunted house? This is not an ordinary horror house. It is a thrilling and adrenaline-pumping horror house that surpasses its limits. Florence turned around, and the clowns beside her cooperated very well, releasing ribbons and paper flowers again. Unfortunately, the tourists showed no response to her enthusiastic introduction, only nervously peering into the haunted house or standing coldly with arms in their arms. Okay. Well, at least no one wants to quit this time. That's good. After all, something like Mia happened. Yeah, if you play, you may not become like Florence, but if you don't play, you will definitely become like Mia. May I ask in advance, are there any additional surprises this time, like last time? Of course! In order to welcome the VIPs to the amusement park, these amusement facilities have been upgraded. In the horror room, in addition to ordinary imitation methods, there will be ghosts disguised as familiar faces to talk to. However, don't worry too much, just be careful not to be taken away by the ghost. What would happen if we were taken away by a ghost? Who knows? It might turn into food for ghosts, right? Muriel understood Florence's meaning and showed a disgusted expression. Don't look down on people anymore, I won't die here. After speaking, Muriel was the first to enter the building, followed by several others who also walked in. So, in the end, it's us, Commander. I faintly heard intermittent screams from the tourists ahead. Did they already encounter something? Are you very concerned about this best situation inside, Commander? So, let me specifically reveal it to you. Be careful of illusions inside, Commander. Strange, why did you come here? It was Muriel's voice, but her tone was completely different from before. Stupid, how did you drive the car? If we were driving like this, we won't be able to reach level 14 for another 3 days and nights. His parents' voice, equally abnormal. Can you perform hundreds of transportation tasks at your level? You'll be reported as unemployed for delivering packages in polluted areas. Ah, I'm so annoyed. Shut up first. I'm checking transportation routes. Damn it, what's going on? When was the transportation route tampered with? Do you know how many goods we've lost here? If we don't make it this time, we'll all have to go down together. Damn it, who tampered with the car's automatic navigation? The transportation route from the previous warehouse was wrong. Damn it, who else would touch this thing besides you? Yes, it's my fault. I'm sorry, it's my fault. I messed up everything. Esmond, why is it you? Why are you here? Don't mess up with useless things here. Stay away from this batch of goods. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Please don't drive me away. Don't kill me. Don't. The chaotic sound gradually faded away, accompanied by the urgent sound of braking, and I finally saw what was in front of me clearly. Inside the terrifying house, it was spacious and desolate like the wilderness, and a transport vehicle, scarred and bruised, is parked here. Are they all in the car? I slowly approached the transport vehicle, but my hands grabbed my wrist. Commander, don't go over. In the next moments, a familiar figure smashed the glass of the transport vehicle and fell heavily into the ground, rolling in front of me. Sorry. Please don't kill me. Don't! Ah! Esma screamed, the bloodstains on her face making it difficult for me to see her expression. In an instant, she pulled me back from those surreal sounds just now, and the next moment, several people holding weapons jumped out of the transport vehicle in front of me. They weren't Perrin or Muriel. They were more like people from Manji security. Is this what she just said about dressing up as a ghost? Isn't that right? Even I can't help you cheat at this stage, Commander. That guy. That girl. She's a fake. Kill her! Manji security personnel made Muriel's voice, pointed at Esma on the ground, and raised their guns. So, Commander, who are the ghosts of the Terror House? As soon as Florence finished speaking, a shower of bullets swept over. Florence, prepare for battle. I can't wait any longer. Oh, disconnected. Because I reset my modem. Okay, so for your question, Warlock, I'm fine with elements. It's generic. Everyone does it, so I don't really mind it. I prefer the weapon types, but that'll also involve making the game completely different. So it's neither here nor there. How long is this, by the way? Oh, that's kind of long. What do you mean? She's right. Where's Groza? Not there. Defeating those ghosts, I looked around but didn't find Esma. Esma? I asked towards the place where the sound had just been made, but in response there was silence. Were all those people just now just hallucinations? As I was thinking, Esma's scream came again from a nearby room, confirming my thoughts. Florence, follow me. Is the commander worried that I might also get lost? Then in another room, I heard Muriel scream. The strange sounds around me kept appearing in nearby rooms, which actually made me feel more at ease. It seemed that those people just now were just hallucinations, but why did I have hallucinations related to those people? Did you miss anything? You missed a lot, actually. A lot of confusion, that is. Commander? Commander, are you listening? Well, I guess so, but since you're an administrator, you should be familiar with the roads here, right? Of course, I will ensure that the commander leaves here smoothly. Florence suddenly took my hand. What just happened was too dangerous. The commander should follow me. I followed Florence I followed Florence forward, and it was indeed different from before. The journey was smooth and unobstructed. We turned around and soon arrived at an empty room. Be careful of illusions, Commander. And in this room, there is a transport vehicle parked. Florence, what does this mean? I pointed at the Monty security uniform next to the transport vehicle. The commander's clothes were torn during the battle just now, so I prepared new ones. However, there were no extra ones left, only the clothes of the disguised ghost. Nevertheless, they were also very clean and tidy. Florence smiled and picked up the clothes, handing them to me. When did my clothes tear? Although I don't have this impression, I still lowered my head and glanced at it. I don't know when, but I tore a very large hole in my waist. Really? Do you want me to help you dress up, Commander? Florence pounced and reached out to take off my clothes. No need, I can wear it myself. I reached out and pushed Florence aside, taking the clothes she handed me. She then sounded as before. The same sound as before could be heard from the transport truck behind me. Esmond, why are you here? Wait, not only Esmond, but the missing person from the previous mission is here. What's going on? Amidst the clamor, the engine of the transport vehicle gradually slowed down. Commander, are you listening to the argument in the car? I told you to be careful of illusions, right? Don't listen. Quickly change your clothes and we'll keep moving forward. Florence urged me, deepening the strange feeling I had just experienced. Okay, got it. I nodded, touched my hand around my waist, and then quickly picked up my sidearm and pulled the trigger at Florence's forehead. Ah! Commander? She trembled and said a few words, then slowly disappeared from my sight like the disguised ghost that was just repelled. Sure enough, even this Florence was an illusion. In the horror room, in addition to ordinary intimidation methods, there would be ghosts disguised as familiar faces to talk to you. Don't worry too much, just be careful to not be taken away by the ghost. In the next moment, a familiar figure, exactly like what happened not long ago, smashed the glass of the transport vehicle and fell heavily to the ground, rolling in front of me. My fault, I'm sorry, please don't drive me away, please don't kill me! Ah! I ignored the same farce as before, allowing the disguised ghost behind me to fight fiercely. Then I turned around and slowly walked out of the room until I found a bright door. So now, congratulations to all the players successfully completed the gameplay of Sweet and Horror Night. Florence bounced up and down to me, her chest tied into a huge bow with a long ribbon. Seeing Florence in this state, a sense of peace arises when she thinks about what happened in the horror room just now. What are you doing again? What am I doing? Isn't it reward time? Is there no reason to end the game without receiving rewards? It's over? Did everyone successfully leave the horror house? It's already over. Those who haven't left yet may have been captured by ghosts. I looked around and looked at the other tourists, counting the number of visitors. Strange. There's only 11 people? But among the tourists present, only Esmond was missing. Among this group of frightened tourists, there was one person who stood out particularly. Esmond, I'm sorry. I really didn't know it was you. I thought it was played by a ghost. What? Florence, was anyone killed in the terror room just now? Ah, Commander, you didn't know that you were also present at the time. Muriel seemed to have seen too many illusions and ultimately, accidentally killed the real Esme. So... Esme's screams echoed in my mind, leaving me feeling a blank space. Commander, are you nervous? Seeing that I hadn't spoken for a long time, Florence's face leaned in front of me. I'm not in the mood to talk to you about any rewards at the moment. Florence shook her body, and the bow on her chest fluttered in the wind, almost about to be blown away by the wind. That's not possible, Commander. If you refuse the reward, you will also have to accept punishment. She's right. Muriel, who was just within my line of sight, quickly left with the other tourists before I can even approach her. The reward time has begun and everyone must receive the reward. Commander, look, I'm bound by this ribbon. If Commander doesn't open it, I can't do anything. Seeing me so helpless, Commander, won't you really be tempted? Thinking about what just happened, I have no mood to play with her now. That means from now on, the Commander can do anything he wants. Florence bent down and handed the ribbon to my hand. The initiative seemed to be in my hands, but the clown costume behind her reminded me that I had no other choice now. Almost without any force, just swipe your fingertips and the ribbon will easily unfold. Florence probably stuck out her tongue, and I saw the red and blue pill at the tip of her tongue. What a horny girl. Florence is a yandere. Straight up. He is by definition a yandere. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me who did it. The sound of metal impact and the roar of the engine passed over the heads of Muriel and me. Unlike the previous confident appearance, Muriel now seems a bit flustered. It's you! You did it! Muriel pointed at me. Originally, Para and I, who had accepted the reward, doubted you. Esme, that idiot, even though she knew something like this, something was wrong with you, went to exchange information with you. And after talking to you, she actually died in the horror room. It must be you who did it. You killed Esme. I dare to say that with my own hands. I dare you to say that again. If I remember correctly, Muriel, it's the second person you have killed? Shut up! It's not because of you, you bastard, that you kept pushing me. I'm already annoyed with tasks. I don't want to do this job for a long time. It's you and Florette who keep urging me. That's why I'm so nervous about Esme's appearance. That's why. Task? Work? I remember the illusion I saw in the horror room just now. Are they still immersed in that illusion? Shut up, idiot. You're talking too much. The parents' reaction didn't seem to be talking about hallucinations. Moreover, she didn't seem as calm as before. You're still cursing at me. You kept scolding me when I was at Monty Security before. Damn it. I'm just a driver. I haven't even touched the goods. Do you still blame me for losing the goods? Okay. Oop. There we go. That's why I resigned from Monty Security. On the last day of work, I took on this terrible task, and now I'm in this place again, playing with these things time and time again. Damn it. What Florette said is true. I played this rubbish so many times. I told you to shut up, and Florette has already been killed by you. As Muriel's emotions became increasingly uncomfortable, Perrin punched her to the ground and then looked at me warily. Don't worry about me. You can continue. What did you remember after receiving the reward just now? Before gathering intelligence, should we show some sincerity first? Didn't you hear everything just now? That's our intelligence. It seems that what Perrin kept preventing Muriel from saying earlier may have been something they remembered after receiving the reward again. However, why are the things they recall so similar to the hallucinations of the horror house? I looked at the building not far away again, the horror house, perhaps tailor-made for these tourists who used to work for Monty Security. From this perspective, the events inside are probably traceable. Okay, I didn't plan on hiding it, but unfortunately what comes to mind is still this about amusement park. What about this park? I saw it with my own eyes. This amusement park has become a dilapidated one, like a joke on ruins. What does that mean? You got it. This guy, indeed this guy is the real murderer. There are no memories that overlap with us. They can never be our companions, and Esmond also said that everything this guy remembers is about the amusement parks. After hearing this, Perrin also looked at me warily. Don't misunderstand. It's not all about amusement parks. I also remembered an email. But it was too much like a spam email, and it was very vague, and I couldn't remember the contents clearly, so I didn't want to take it to heart at all. Is that too vague without any details? For example, who wrote it to you? I remember it seemed like he's very familiar and outgoing person, although always said strange things, was not really annoying. Hey! Florence suddenly appeared in front of me. Accompanied by balloons and ribbons, her smile was as bright as sunshine, instantly sweeping away the somewhat gloomy atmosphere of the amusement park. Are you thinking about me, Commander? Florence naturally joined our conversation, and it seemed that she was ready for the third game. Maybe the person who wrote spam emails is really her. Have you finally remembered the love letter I wrote you? Florence looked at me excitedly. Was it a love letter? I just said it was spam. I'm really sorry. Look, this guy has a close relationship with the administrator. I'm afraid this guy is just the one who really wants to see us die one by one. Not only shallow, but already have become the commanders, right? How did I not know about this? Perrin, you, look! Florence hugged my arm tightly, causing Muriel to panic. She pointed at us and wanted to call out to Perrin, but Perrin rubbed her chin and pondered, returning to a calm state. Hello, Perrin, what are you thinking? The mastermind behind the scenes is right in front of us. Kill these two people. Maybe we can leave. I don't want to kill anymore. You see that Muriel has fully accepted the fact that she killed two people. Muriel, have you ever thought that if Esme died because she discovered the truth behind the scenes? If you identify this guy like this now, won't the next one be... Muriel was stunned. Wait, this is not right. Muriel looked at me with some panic and took 2 steps back. I've already told you I'm not the mastermind behind this. But now Muriel doesn't seem to listen at all. Yeah, and even administrators have the right to play with interesting guys, right? When Florence speaks, it only makes my argument seem even more powerless. Well, what should I do then, Perrin? I told you to join me in killing this guy. It's terrible now. Muriel gasped heavily, her body seeming to have been overly tense for too long, the taut strings also breaking at a touch. She rummaged through her body as if searching for something. Do you remember what happened before? Even the bad habits from before? No, it's better to say that it's been so long that I haven't even exposed to that before I became more and more manic. Muriel searched her whole body, but couldn't find what she was looking for. What are you looking for? Muriel swallowed a mouthful of saliva and just shook her head. You said you haven't touched the goods before, but I see you've been stealing a lot. This mother worked for so many years and you never gave me a raise. What happened to me? Seeing Muriel become increasingly agitated, Florence leaned in to her ear and whispered a word to her softly. I know where you want something. Where is it? Florence smiled as brightly as ever, as if announcing her performance. She opened her arms generously, bowed, and then pointed to the sky. The wind howls past, and dozens of suspended facilities are moving along the rotation trajectory of the Ferris wheel. But what's different is that the disguised clowns climb among them, clearly visible. The third round of gameplay is about to begin, everyone. Welcome to the rotating air maze. Accompanied by the sound of salutes, balloons take off and shimmering ribbons reflecting sunlight float in the air. Nonsense, how could there be? Maria followed Florence's gesture and looked up at the aerial amusement equipment. She waved away the celebratory ribbon that had fallen on her face. Suddenly, an indistinguishable object fell from the amusement equipment. Dong. His husband's body. Holy shit. It landed right in front of Muriel, less than a meter away from her. The twisted and deformed facial features were right in front of Muriel, and finally Muriel screamed when the pressure had reached its limit. I didn't. It wasn't me. Muriel became even more panicked as she fell to the ground, watching Esme's bloody body, gasping for breath, but no matter what, she couldn't get any oxygen and could only let her voice scream like the bellows. Is it difficult to breathe? Muriel cannot answer. She can only kneel on the ground and breathe hard now. Florence, like a preschool teacher, knelt down and directed Muriel's breathing movements with a friendly smile and exaggerated gestures. Oh, you can't rush like this. Follow my movements and open your mouth. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. You did a great job. Florence squinted her eyes and looked at her, then touched her head again. Wait, this is not a formal mercy treatment or first aid for medical figures like Florence. What they're doing now is completely a kind of evil taste. Obviously, this had no effect on Muriel. Muriel rested and groped her body until she searched through all her pockets, but still couldn't find what she wanted. The things you need are equipped in a suspension cabin. Florence smirked mischievously and rudely stroked Muriel's head. What exactly does she want? Muriel, who couldn't make a sound, ran like this and rushed to the amusement facility first. Nevertheless, once I climb up, I will naturally know what she wants. Thinking of this, I also walked towards the Ferris wheel. Oh, I forgot to remind you. The enclosed space in the suspension cabin also has terrifying illusions that may make people go crazy like Muriel. If you can't find that, it might not be easy. A strange feeling arose as I looked at the number of suspended cabins far exceeding the number of tourists and decided to ask, are you sure that each suspension cabin is equipped with what Muriel wants? It may take a little bit of luck, Commander. An inexplicable response. This is a very special level, Commander. Enjoy it to the fullest. Florence patted my shoulder, encouraging me as before, but when I saw that body of Esmond behind her, which she had used without any concern, I felt a chill surge. I think for the first time ever, I just don't know what's going on. Like, nothing is making sense. Like, if it wasn't like a minor character event, I would think that they were getting fucked over by Nirvana. Because as it stands right now, I just don't know how this is all happening. They might be on a drug trip, but all at once at the same time? That's the weird part. So now, congratulations to all the players. You have successfully completed the game of rotating air maze. I have become numb to the mechanical repetition of celebrations, and now I am more concerned about the number of tourists after this trip than those. 10. But no matter how many times I confirmed, I am certain that there are only 10 tourists left. One less than the number before the trip. And the person who disappeared this time happened to be Muriel. I looked up at the Ferris wheel in the sky, and with only one hanging facility door tightly closed, and a sense of foreboding rose from my heart. Perlin seemed to have, or Perrin or Perlin, one of those. Perlin seems to have the same idea as me, and coincidentally walked towards this Ferris wheel. Next is the most anticipated reward time. Hey, where are you two going? After the suspension finally came at the top to a stop, Perrin and I slowly opened the tightly closed door. Muriel is indeed inside. However, her body was unnaturally hung upside down, and the rope that hung her up was the safety rope that was originally used to protect her safety. The cabin was a mess, as if she had surged countless times. Some mixed and indistinct sticky substance covered her entire body, although it was already impossible to distinguish what they were. They were enough to make the person smell the complex smell before seeing her expression clearly. Sorry, I will handle that later. The reward time has arrived. If you don't receive the reward again, there may be trouble. Seeing our reaction, Florence immediately pushed the other tourists to collect the reward, and she rushed to our side. What's going on here? I clenched the thing in my hand, which was a pink capsule I found in the seat inside the cabin. Thinking that this might be what Muriel wanted, I didn't use it and saved it. Perhaps Muriel was unlucky not to have found the potion, and when She lost control of her mind. She faced the enemy. It's not surprising what happened. I have seen it all. However, Perrin suddenly spoke up, her eyes still fixed on Muriel. Her cabin was not equipped with any medicine at all. The door was locked, and she kept vomiting until those clowns appeared. Muriel was desperately searching and surviving. As they were speaking, the clowns reappeared behind Florence. Don't worry about these things. Be happy. As a clearance player, rewards are the most important, aren't they? As long as you receive the reward, you will forget all these unappetizing things. Florence took out 2 handheld salute cannons from somewhere and placed them in the hands of me and Perrin. The other clowns also handled the salute cannons of the turrets of the tourist. And she also took out a handheld salute gun herself. Bang! Florence released a cannon salute in front of the 2 of us, and the fireworks scattered in the air, which was out of place with the silence of me and Perrin. I understand now. Perrin hesitated for a few seconds, then glanced at Muriel again before turning around and leaving here. So, next is a world of 2. Commander, I guarantee that this reward will satisfy you. Florence took out a syringe, and inside flowed a pink liquid with no discernible name or effect. Is this injection therapy? Unlike the previous 2 capsules, Florence lightly flicked the syringe tube and then stepped forward to stroke my neck with one hand. But with what I just experienced, perhaps because I sensed some crazy elements in Florence's personality, I resisted her a bit. Huh? Watching me push her away, Florence was also a little surprised. What's wrong, Commander? Weren't we all quite happy before? Florence did not harm me. But the tragic scenes of Esme and Muriel once again appeared in my mind. Commander. Florence seemed to sense what I was thinking, and she took a step forward, pressing closely against me. Don't you believe in me anymore? She looked up at me, drawing circles on my chest with her hand, as if acting coquettish or tempting. If it had been before, perhaps I could have seen this as her well-intentioned prank, but now I only find it strange. However, just as I hesitated, her syringe had already plunged into my body. Ugh, what's going on? Soon the feeling of sourness and weakness began to spread throughout my body, and at this moment, Florence casually pushed me to the ground. Oh, I'm sorry, Commander. Seeing your resistance, it's really hard for me to control myself from doing anything to you. What are you doing? Florence showed a smug smile, stepped over me, and then found the pink capsule that I had hidden into my body. Of course, for the heartbreaking Commander, some additional rewards to be given as a gift, Commander. Please enjoy it. Give it back to me. Commander, this is cheating behavior. I have already been lenient by not punishing you. You cannot be so greedy. Moreover, medication should not be taken indiscriminately. Look, you've already started talking nonsense. I haven't eaten anything randomly except for the medicine you gave me. Although I really want to say it, I no longer have the strength to say it. Next, let me cure you. Her smiling face became increasingly blurred, and before my consciousness fell in the darkness, Florence's voice still echoed in my ears. Na. Even William would be scared. Hello. In the darkness, a familiar voice reached the girl's ear. She opened her eyes and saw the medical figure, smiling like a demon. Of course, her hands were filled with her usual medical cart, which was filled with various types of syringes and countless unnamed exclusive medicines. Did I wake you up? It's time for the injection. It's okay. I wasn't sleeping at all anyway. Not sleeping? Florence suddenly became somewhat alert. I just don't want to sleep. Why did you take so many injections again? Injection therapy or something like that doesn't really work on me. The girl frowned, lowered her head, and pinched the corner of her skirt. At first glance, there were only ordinary and beautiful legs under her skirt, but upon closer inspection, it was discovered that her body had been forcibly shaped into this normal posture. Except for the attending physician, Florence, no one knew how tightly wrapped her body was deformed. She peeked at the moving seat next to her with her peripheral light. It was almost like a second leg to her. Due to the congenital deformities and a weak body, she is unable to use prosthetics. The various devices mounted on the seat have almost become her complex internal organs. Living in this world is just a waste. She knew it was wrong, but couldn't stop her thoughts. Not to mention being cured or fully recovered, such a good outcome is not proportional to one's own efforts. After all, one is not that extraordinary. What should I do? If you can successfully complete the treatment this time, I will give you a reward, okay? Reward? Hearing this, the girl's eyes finally shone again. Is it true? Wow, I'm really looking forward to it. The reward you gave me last time made me excited all day. What kind of reward will it be this time? If it's prepared by Florence, it must be very exciting, right? The gloom in the girl's face swept away, and she hummed an unknown song, eagerly waiting for Florence's pre-ejection examination. However, Florence's gaze suddenly dropped in temperature. So, what you mean by not sleeping is actually doing this? Florence just grabbed her the water cup next to the girl's bed and quickly poured the liquid onto the ground. It was some brightly colored fruit juice emitting a tempting sweet aroma. Why did she spill it? I still want to drink it. Are you bold with an Oedipus content higher than the safe value of 223%? Florence lightly flicked her finger and obtained the remaining liquid on it, then showed the test results to the girl. Shouldn't it be considered a compliment if you say that? I reminded you that in order to cure your body, you cannot continue taking Oedipus. I know. She knew that continuing to take Oedipus was just drinking poison to quench her thirst. But the so-called effort to survive for her is just using today's pain to strive for a painful tomorrow. Damn, type shit. Compared to living like this, perhaps the joy of every day is more real to her. I just want to experience more interesting things in this way. Isn't that okay? Florence, you know, everyone is using this. This is not a safe zone. It's perfectly normal like this. I've gone through 20 painful and boring years. You won't blame me, will you? The girl unconsciously clenched her hand on her lap. She stared eagerly at Florence's expression. This damn world doesn't belong to people like me. For people like us, clarity is the greatest pain. Florence didn't answer, just put away all of the prepared syringes and treatment equipment. This treatment is destined to be unable to continue. The cognitive impairment caused by the drug dependence does not see the real world. It is just your illusion. It's just an illusion? What about hallucinations? Why do we have to be clear-headed? It's obviously happier and more comfortable this way. I just wanted to make myself feel better. I am human. I am not a doll nor a skeleton. I will suffer because of this kind of life, and it is not easy for me to live comfortably. Human beings are inherently unable to perceive the real world. All they can perceive is their own feelings. Is there any difference between the stimulation and happiness I feel in my hallucinations and what you feel? You see, I can fully enjoy this kind of life now. This girl was driven by intense emotions and wanted to jump up because her immobilized lower body was difficult to even get up. But under the effect of hallucinogenic drugs, she no longer felt pain and powerlessness, and instead only continuously secreted dopamine. Do you understand, Florence? This is the real miracle. All my pain will turn to pleasure. The girl trembled as she swallowed heavily, constantly secreting saliva. Although I didn't want to say it again, this is also due to the cognitive impairment caused by severe brain damage. However, Florence seemed to have grown accustomed to this and chuckled indifferently. Having too much emotional fluctuation is not good for you. I hope this medicine hasn't completely destroyed your brain and won't make you forget how you left Monty's security. After speaking, Florence pushed the medical cart and prepared to leave the ward. Wait, Florence! The girl, however, grabbed the hem of Florence's clothes. Not even punishment? Even if there is no ward, as long as there's punishment. No one knows what she actually thought of, and the girl's cheeks blushed slightly. Your body cannot be injected right now, otherwise you'll be in great pain, so painful that you will die. Maybe you will really die. However, this sentence made the girl even more excited. She took big breaths and her breath gradually became messy. Is that so? I am curious. What kind of pain is this? Even if I die, it doesn't matter. What could be worse than now? Perhaps the pain in my mouth is happiness to me. Florence looked at the girl, seeming to suddenly find it amusing, and she laughed too. Can you also tell me what kind of world you see now that looks like? After listening, the girl looked out the window, her eyes shining brightly. Florence suddenly felt as if she had seen a reflection of those pupils. Amusement park. A cheerful, lively and heavenly place. There, no matter what your wish is, you will find happiness. The girl suddenly grabbed Florence's hands and pulled her closer to her. With 4 eyes facing each other, her round eyes didn't even blink, and her pupils were unobstructed in front of Florence's eyes. Did you see it? Screaming dreams, colorful fantasies, make my heart beat faster, keep me feeling pleasure. It made me feel like I'm feeling alive. In an instant, Florence was almost about to hear the laughter and songs in the amusement park, but soon, the other person's rapid breathing drowned out those hallucinatory sounds. Can a person's hallucinations really affect others? A bold conjecture that even Florence couldn't believe appeared in her mind. She clearly felt that her computing speed was increasing and the flow rate of the circulating fluid was speeding up. Although it was not her intention, she became excited. Yeah, so circulating fluid, huh? In the end, Florence forcefully shook off the girl, stopped looking at her, and turned around to leave the ward. As she was leaving, she caught a glimpse of the table next to the girl, where there was a collection of amusement park stamps. Although it looked very old, it was well preserved. Okay. I'm going to need more information than that to know what's going on. Because right now it sounds a bit ridiculous. Flashbang. Hello. For my drowsy brain, there were two strong lights. The two strong light woke me up and also exacerbated the severe pain in my head. Ah, you're awake now. I opened my eyes and saw Florence in front of me, looking at me with concern. This scene is very familiar no matter how you look at it. Unfortunately, despite the splitting headache, I still remember what she did just now, so I can't really be as close to her as before. The surgery was successful, but complete recovery still takes time. Surgery? There is a set of surgical knives placed next to the test bench, along with medical equipment that I cannot fully identify. I have a rough guess of what Florence did when I was unconscious. I tried to move my body, fortunately. It was not a big deal. What have you done? What else can there be? As a medical doll, all I can do is street. And facing the sleeping face of the commander, I held back well. Or, what does the commander want me to do? Headache splitting. No. By the way, is there anything I need treatment for? Since I arrived here, she has indeed engaged in many therapeutic behaviors. She gave me medication one time, injection therapy another time, and now she has upgraded it to surgery, even treating it like a reward. Of course, it's to cure the commander's brain. At least she had to think of me. She approached me with a smile, releasing complete kindness. In an instant, I felt like I had returned to the beginning, when I first met her. The cruel actions just now seemed to have nothing to do with her. How about it? Do you have any dreams? Is it possible that... I rubbed my temple, and the sharp pain briefly dispelled the fog, allowing me to vividly recall the scene I had saw in my dream in an instant. I saw a rundown amusement park, and that chapter book. I was holding a chapter book in my hand, which was also in a tattered state. Oh, did you dream about me? The commander kept calling my name while dreaming. Calling your name is nonsense, isn't it? I pondered for a moment, and this dream was more real and complete than ever before, but soon the fog shrouded me again, and no matter what, I couldn't retrieve the complete memories. Just a test after all. If only I remember the commander and the commander doesn't remember me, I will also feel lonely. I looked around and saw that although there were many medical devices in the room compared to the medical room, the difficulty to identify mysterious potions and experimental equipment made it more like a laboratory. On the other side of the room, covered by several white curtains, it should be the area where patients rest, and the medical bed behind it can be vaguely seen. What are you looking at? I don't know if you're worried that I might find something, but Florence forcefully leaned in front of me and blocked my view. Where is it? I didn't really ask her about the covered area, but asked other questions. It doesn't seem like a recreational facility, and there are no other tourists around. It's a consultation room. exclusively for administrators, known as a staff-heavy area, no entry for tourists place. So it's your room. Yeah, so if the commander wants to do something, this is a good place, isn't it? A good place? Absolutely no one will discover it. She looked at me seriously, as if trying to convey some information. What does this mean? No need? No need. When will the next game start? After some consideration, I decided to head to the next playground at first. Intelligence still needs to be collected during gameplay, and staying here would be of no use. Don't you want to stay a little longer? I finally managed to get through the world of two people for a while. I just got off the operating table and left in such a hurry. Be careful of your health. No need. It seems that the commander is even more anxious than me. A huge steel structure stands silently in front of me, with the curves of the metal track flowing smoothly and aesthetically pleasing, including large dives, sharp turns, and spirals, and even vertical diving sections, shining with a medical luster in the sunlight, like a tangled ball of metal wires. Even a launch device has been shaped like a powerful and intimidating giant beast with sharp edges. It is not difficult to imagine what kind of sound the engines will make after starting. Commander, look, this is the most thrilling sight in game. Here, Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. Although it is spectacular, no matter how you look at it, it's just a roller coaster. Most importantly, it has no difference from the first game's Heartbeat Accelerator 9000. Have you played this before? I shook the chapter book in my hand at Florence. In order to quickly clear the level and win the final prize, should we hurry to the next gaming facility? Hey, Commander, what are you talking about? I haven't played this yet. Can I clear it in order? Florence looked at me in surprise, as if I said something strange. You don't think just changing the numbers can be considered a new game, do you? I looked around, trying to find a hint of agreement from the reactions of others. On the contrary, all the tourists present looked at me like a strange person. What's this guy talking about? Didn't everyone just come to this amusement park? Yes, man, tell me, how many times have we played this amusement ride? Isn't this the first time? What are you talking about? We just arrived at this amusement park. Wrong! This is definitely not the first time. What's going on? Even if you haven't already experienced this roller coaster, isn't it a big deal? See my somewhat puzzled expression, Florence approached me and comforted me softly, but I didn't feel at ease about it at all. Even if you have already experienced this roller coaster, isn't it a big deal? It's not surprising to play a few more times when encountering your favorite amusement equipment. Yeah, the commander often accompanies me for several rounds. Doesn't the commander often sit with me for several rounds? Florence showed her usual gentle smile, but now that smile makes me feel incredibly unfamiliar. She just said what I said. Although she remembers it clearly, she pretends to be playing this project for the first time. What is Florence really up to? So, Commander, please take your seat quickly. The tourists on the field didn't seem to realize that they had already played once, and they excitedly climbed into the roller coaster like they were playing for the first time. I follow along, half believing and half doubting. So, this is the commander's seat. Even my seat is exactly the same as I was when I first played. I looked around and saw that the seats of the others were almost the same as the first time, while the seats of those who had disappeared were naturally empty. Suddenly, a somewhat abrupt gaze interrupted my thinking. Harlan is looking at me. Ah, Commander, you're so lucky. There happens to be an empty seat next to you. Sorry, Florence. At the moment Florence was about to sit next to me like last time, I stood up first and walked straight towards the woman who had been watching me with Florence's surprised eyes. Aren't you sitting next to the administrator lady? Time is tight. Let's forget about it this time. I glanced at Florence, who was also looking at me. Her gaze made it difficult for me to see what she was thinking. I thought you were taken away and punished by her, but I never expected to see you again. Perlin's words confirmed my hypothesis. Let's get straight to the point. I'm not good at small talk. I sat in my seat, fastened my seatbelt, and deliberately ignored Florence's gaze. We've already concluded this roller coaster once, but it seems that everyone else has forgotten about this matter. Only these? What else? Mia also discovered these things, and her fate couldn't be considered good. It seems that you know more than me, even about Mia. You remember it clearly. But knowing too much, Mia became insane and headed towards instruction, while Perrin is completely different. Why are you okay? Do you really want me to die too? I just hope to gain some experience in self-protection. Harlan suddenly laughed, looking from afar at the top of the roller coaster. Don't worry too much. I've already played this roller coaster more than 10 times, so I'm sitting here comfortably. More than 10 times? Although she didn't die, she didn't receive any clearance awards and never left this amusement park? I can't remember the specific numbers for a long time, but I didn't originally remember these dozen times before. As if sensing my confusion, she spoke coldly, as if talking about something ordinary. Please continue. Because of the sudden appearance of the reward time one day, I gradually remembered. Even remembered what happened before coming to this amusement park. I gradually realized what happened here. Not only me, but also many people are gradually waking up. What? So, are those drugs really for treating the brain? I, who wasn't really skeptical of Florence, suddenly became speechless. Is she really just undergoing treatment? So the Silicon amusement park is just a hospital for treating lunatics? And for all of us, including myself, what makes our memory so blurry? And the real nightmare only begins here. Perrin seems to anticipate my reaction. She continues speaking. We pursued this brief sense of clarity and began to actively explore these facilities. At this moment, the level of danger in this amusement park began to increase, and even fatalities began to occur. Don't you want to leave this kind of amusement park? Perrin shook her head. It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. Didn't you notice you can't even find the exit here? It's strange that when you arrive here, the exit seems to disappear. I can probably guess how she did it. It's probably another medication. As you can see, the administrator is very good at this thing. Medications damage our brains, preventing us from seeing the real world and finding a way back. When you refuse to play, you will not receive the reward, and your memory will become more blurred, making it harder to find your way back, and even forgetting to escape itself. But even though I kept playing, I couldn't really find a way to leave here. This is also another reason why we cannot escape. Reward is like a medicine that alleviates the symptoms of Perrin and the others, and also makes them more dependent on this place. Florence's medication, syringe, and surgery once again come to mind. Is that why you stayed here despite having attained so much intelligence? Knowledge. The right word is knowledge, not intelligence. Not entirely. I know how this amusement park was built, and I also know what I deserve, that I deserve it. Perrin murmured softly and then regained her smile. It should be related to your job, right? You should all be transportation team members of Monty Security. I can't say. Do you still think about your confidentiality agreement at this time? Just considered me a permanent resident here. When I took abnormality as a habit, I had already been tamed by this amusement park. I can only tell you that the so-called clearance prize is just a scam. When you come here, the door behind you disappears forever and you can never leave here. As for the administrator, damn it, I should have thought that the poison and medicine were all in her hands. She just used this kind of thing to make us play around. It's impossible for us to leave, let alone cure us. You don't believe me? Take a look at the chapter book in your hand. I took out my collection of chapters, and the wind blew through the booklet in my hand. Page after page, the paper was open haphazardly, but the content on top was blurry. I can't see the game items. I can't see the chapter requirements, and more importantly, no matter how many pages I flip, I can't reach the last page. There's never an end. What's going on here? Just like the disappearing door at the beginning, if it weren't for my belief that my mind was very clear, it would have been almost magical to the point of illusion. Perhaps it's just an illusion, but where is the boundary between illusion and reality here? If all this is a scam, then what's the reason why I'm trapped here? This is completely meaningless. Who knows? Maybe just because. Is it fun? I followed Perrin's gaze and Florence cruelly smiled, starting the roller coaster. Why did you tell me this? No matter how exciting the game becomes, it will still be boring when it becomes daily routine. I'm just tired. In the next moment, in the pitch-black tunnel, I heard the same sound of flesh and blood tearing at the floor. The air became damp and sweet again. Tick, tick. Tick, 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 tick. The swing hasn't subsided, but I heard the sound of liquid falling from it. Perrin! But now in front of me, there is only some broken limbs, but I can still recognize who they once belonged to. Until she became disheveled, Perrin didn't let out a scream, not even a whimper. Commander, is it better to take care of yourself first in her? Florence came to me at some point, smiling lightly at me. Behind her, the blood-stained clowns were jumping and waving colorful balloons. You don't have to worry about this. Okay, my theory right now is that we're not playing the commander right now. We're playing that girl. who's fucked up in the hospital. So now, congratulations to all the players who successfully completed the Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. Amidst the cheers of the surviving ordeal around me, I walked straight to Florence. Hold on, let me... Amidst the cheers of the surviving ordeal around me, I walked straight to Florence. We need to talk. Can't we wait a bit longer, Commander? Unfortunately, there are no special rewards this time. I have nothing else to do. Florence, contrary to her usual behavior, turned around and wanted to leave. Have you stopped performing? I dreadily opened the chapter book and threw it in front of Florence. How many secrets are hidden in this amusement park? Taking another big step forward, I crossed over Florence and blocked her path. The endless cycle of playing, the disappearing memories, and the never-ending rewards for completing the game is really just a scam. And these tourists waste their lives for this boring scam. You're very dominant. Such a commander makes me even more tempted. Answer my question. However, in the next moment, the world in front of me becomes very blurry. It's rare that I was just a little interested, but you couldn't hold on so quickly. What have you done? Is the commander himself too anxious? A person who has just undergone surgery and has not yet passed the recovery period is running around eagerly to play such exciting things. Florence reached out and shook her hand in front of my eyes. See? I can't see it clearly at all. That's so? As consciousness gradually recovers, the scene in front of me has become completely different. Similar to the illusion I saw before, it's the dilapidated amusement park again. But this time the scene in front of me was particularly clear, so clear that it almost didn't seem like an illusion. This is it. I remember everything. It really is an amusement park. Black currants. Will those people be here? Okay. Dear Commander, guess who I am? Is this tome? Who put the spam email? Who put the scam email in again? Wait, don't rush to delete that, Commander. There was really something important this time, which is different from the previous commission. A batch of goods went missing during transportation at Monty Security, along with the members who carried out this mission. Can't they handle this on their own? Is it my turn as bounty hunter to manage? I'm not interested in getting involved in this dog-biting dog thing again. Dog-eating dog thing again. Are you sure you're going to refuse? Don't worry. Let's not talk about it now. The lucrative reward is still this time. There's a lucrative reward this time. The most important thing is to find these before monetary security. I guarantee it won't harm you. Oh? I had to admit, this does have some appeal. If I guess right, this batch of goods, I'm afraid there's something I'm very interested in. I have already sent the coordinates and necessary information. Oh, by the way, this mission is a bit special. Don't bring any dolls. It's been a long time since we last met. Isn't it just better for us together? In short, I will definitely take responsibility and ensure the safety of the commander. The reward is blank. Of course, the most important thing is the additional compensation. What kind of fraud organization did she join? Although we already know who sent the bounty commission, it still looks like some new type of scam. I couldn't keep reading, so I immediately closed the email. The rest of it was probably meaningless content. I clicked on the attachment and prepared to review the information provided by the client. In addition to the coordinates, there is only one photo in the attachment. It really is an amusement park. Blackcurrant. Will those people hide here? The story's interesting. It might be too disfigured, but we'll see how it comes together. It's the sound of walking, to be precise. The sound of about 10 people walking together in disorder from this sparsely populated wilderness. Obviously, they have been here for too long. Most of these people are ragged, emaciated, with hollow eyes, and their clothes are all stained red with blood. Some of them are scabbed wounds. Some of them have scabbed wounds. Some of them are oozing blue and yellow pus from their wounds, and some are even unable to walk with their wheelchairs creaking under their feet. And the so-called amusement park now, it seems, is just a long abandoned ruin, only vaguely recognizable as the former amusement park. Although their appearance is difficult to identify, there is no doubt that these people who are sleepwalking in groups in the ruins are tourists who come over to this amusement park. They are like ghosts, forgetting their past and forever trapped here. Found it. Excuse me. Dear tourists, long wait. What's right in front of you now is Sweet Horror Night. Florence's infectious words suddenly rang out, and these aimless people, as if receiving some instructions, gradually gathered on the building behind Florence. That is the building that is neither terrifying nor has any amusement park atmosphere, with only mottled walls and shaky metal plates hanging on top. And Florence, who was joyfully explaining to the building, and the tourists who were preparing to go there, played the games at the amusement park happily, repeating endlessly in a loop. So, time is running out. Let's hurry up. I quit. Oh? Just like when I first saw Mia obstructing tourists from climbing a roller coaster, countless pairs of hollow eyes looked at me together, and the footsteps of these tourists came to a halt. I heard them whispering something to each other. I can't really do anything about it. Even commanders who obstruct gameplay will be punished, right? Florence said these words, but looked at me with a meaningful expression. I thought I understood her meaning. Keep talking. You know, I suddenly remembered something interesting. What would you do when you walk up on the street and see many people looking up at the sky? What's up in the sky? Even if there is nothing there, the existence of collective behavior will make you feel like that there's something there. At this point, by adding some small variables, your brain can truly see the non-existent miracle in the sky, and even believe it without a doubt. This really is interesting. Medical dolls should have a better understanding than me, an outsider, right? The collective illusion. Illusion? Illusion? Okay, so... Alright, so I was overthinking it. Yeah, like literally everyone was just drugged out of their fucking mind. And Commander was one of them for a moment. What does that mean? The meaning is that this amusement park is entirely a man-made illusion. To others, it may just be a group of crazy people riding rusty iron drums and screaming on the ruins. Well, just now, this group of crazy people also included me. Luckily, there weren't many people here. Did everyone see the same illusion? Can they even communicate without any barriers? Is it possible to do that? What do you think? And the excellent doll? Who knows? But maybe I can do it, right? Be confident, you already have accomplished it. The important variables for achieving collective illusions may be anxiety and stress, or the speed of transmission caused by closed environments. But you should be using a more convenient and efficient medication. This is also part of poison that Florence has mastered. Oosh. Completely treating me like a criminal for trial. I'm really excited. You should be more familiar with Edith than I am. Sure enough, Commander. You also know about the medicine, but unfortunately, I couldn't get so many Oedipus. After all, I'm just a weak medical doll, let alone kidnap so many people here. Oedipus is impossible, but if it's something else, it's not certain. It's not necessarily the case. If Nikita's intelligence is accurate, Monty Security is transporting a special type of cargo, black current. What's the relationship between things with different names? Most of the black currents are just regular canned goods, but according to the intelligence I have obtained, a considerable portion of the goods transported by Manji to the contaminated area contained the prohibited item Oedipus. Manji Security, its name. Blackcurrant. Transportation. Although these tourists may not fully understand the meaning of this word due to the effects of the medication and hallucinations, the subconscious reactions they experience make them appear familiar with the term. And this reaction precisely confirms my hypothesis. Coincidentally, all of the tourists in the amusement park, except for you and me, are transportation team members of Manji Security. It can be said that they personally carried a full load of blackcurrant and traveled a long distance to come here, providing you with tourist and Edith. And you here hijacked the transport vehicles and created a collective illusion, using the prohibited items they transported, forcing them to play round after round of games. So the events that are repeatedly played and replayed by them in the horror house are likely to be what happened before they were kidnapped. Strange, why did you come here? Stupid, how do you drive the car? If we keep driving like this, we won't be able to reach level 14 for another 3 days and nights. Can you perform hundreds of transportation tasks at your level? You'll be reported as unemployed for delivering packages in polluted areas. I'm so annoyed. First, shut up. I'm checking the transportation route. Damn it, what's going on? When was the transportation route tampered with? Do you know how many goods we've lost here? If we don't make it this time, we'll all have to go down together. Damn it, who tampered with the car's automatic navigation? The transportation route from the previous warehouse was wrong. Damn it, who else touched his thing besides you? Yes, it's my fault. I'm sorry, it's my fault. I messed up everything. Esmond, why is it you? Why are you here? No wonder they were so scared. After all, the scale of blackcurrant is not an ordinary transportation task. And those who messed up this mission were already in a state of panic, and you injected them with large amounts of Oedipus. They may soon become at your mercy. Even if everything you say is correct, Commander, it only seems to make sense. Perhaps if was these mighty security personnel who were on guard and stole, and after learning the value of their transportation mission, they used the transport of Oedipus only to be trapped here and suffer for themselves. That is to say, this was an accident caused by greed, and coincidentally, it formed what you call the group illusion, which is hard not to say a miracle. What you said also makes sense. This so-called getting lost may simply be a pretext for those people who escape punishment. But sometimes lives are like this. You have to deceive yourself first before you can deceive others. These people's symptoms are not directly related to the symptoms of Oedipus, although very close. In addition to hallucinations and severe cognitive impairment, there are also serious symptoms such as memory loss, blurred temporal and spatial judgments, and visual impairments. This is very rare in previous reports related to Oedipus. Among all the people here, only you have the ability to further improve Oedipus. Not only that, you are the one who does not belong to modern security, has drug talent, and can even serve as the manager of the amusement park maintaining illusions. Me? Commander, you seem to have forgotten that I have no reason to do this. Florence suddenly laughed with a hint of excitement in her eyes. I felt a hint of helplessness. It seemed like she was completely addicted to it. Rather, it is precisely because of this that I am more certain it is you. Only you would do such a thing, right? It's simple, purely for fun, and in pursuit of excitement. Of course, stimulation is my top priority, but I haven't reached this level either, have I? Although her words were filled with excuses for herself, her expression and actions became bolder, even making me feel a hint of provocation. It's hard to say. When Florence truly loves excitement so much is not the most important question. Oh, whether Florence truly loves excitement so much is not the important question now. To solve this matter, I must first deal with her. You just need to know that not only me, but everyone here would no longer be playing with you here. Florence glanced at the people who were still confused, and then she waved her hand somewhat exaggeratedly, and several robots surrounded her. Is it? Unfortunately, it's not over yet. Commander and everyone else, please play with me for a little while longer. Let me bring up the text. Let me add a little more excitement, Commander. I really had to teach you a lesson, Florence. Arclicai's bike to the face. It is 100% safe. Ah! And lost. Florence fell weakly to the ground, her body in a slightly twisted position due to the difficulty level. She excitedly lifted her head, and 2 suspicious blush marks appeared on her face. Congratulations, Commander. Heartbeat Amusement Park has successfully cleared all of its amusement facilities. The playful amusement park has come to an end, so you can stop talking in moderation. Commander, are you still so impatient? Before choosing your final reward, should you complete the punishment phase first? However, it is me who will be punished this time. The mechanical body quietly approached me and handed over some mysterious instruments that I hardly knew. In addition, there were various colors of medicines and syringes to choose from. What is this? I picked up a syringe casually. Commander, I was surprised you chose that one. It's really bold. However, this is also very exciting. I immediately put the syringe back. I picked up the chapter book, and after breaking free from the control of illusion, it was just a slightly old chapter book with a clear sense of age. It was obvious that it was from the same era as this abandoned amusement park. On the last page, a brand new seal imprint was imprinted here, as if reminding me of everything that had already ended. She was ready for that syringe. That probably wouldn't work on her, because she's a doll. So, what reward does the commander want after clearing the level? Watching Florence still immersed in the setting of the amusement park with a serious expression, this scene is quite vague, strange. I casually handed the collection of chapters to Florence. Including you and those who have already died in the illusion. Florence frowned slightly, as if thinking. After all, this is what counts as a big prize. Unfortunately, you can only take one with you. Although you have defeated me, the illusions of the others continue. Even if these people know it's an illusion, they will soon forget about it. The world they see in their eyes is still a dreamlike and fantastical amusement park. After listening to parents' words, I have been thinking about which parts of what you have provided are poisonous and which parts are the real medicine. And now it seems that she hasn't supplemented and improved the Edith for these people for a long time. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been so many tourists going crazy. My recovery probably due to Florence's seemingly exaggerated treatment. Not only me, but also Perrin, Esme, Muriel, and others. Everyone who receives reward will also be more clear-headed. If she just wants the people here to stay here forever, soothing their poor physical and mental health is important. But it should also be supplemented and improved in a timely manner. However, the fact that everyone's Intelligence accumulates during gameplay, and even situations like parents have occurred, which is not normal. Not to mention, thanks to you, my mind is so clear that I completely remember what kind of person you are. You cured me, right? I asked while observing Florence's reaction. Here? The reward is used to supplement and improve your Oedipus, but there are always a few that recover quickly. Without a doubt, this is a lie. Improving the Oedipus is a poison. But after receiving rewards, tourists feel like they have received a medicine and their minds become clear. But if she is really the owner of the amusement park, is it necessary for the person who did all these things to lie about this? She has done too many unnecessary things. I see. It seems to be the same as I guessed. Florence's therapeutic behavior is likely to have been secretly carried out while hiding from someone, and this person is highly likely to be the initiator of this incident. I looked around and checked the number of people here again. Before playing Sweet Night, there were only 12 tourists left except for me and Florence. And next, Esmond, Muriel, and Perrin will be punished one after another. Among the current tourists, there should still be 9 people left. There's one more. Because no matter how many people are counted, there are always 10 people gathered here now. Did any new tourists join me while I was playing? If possible, I can't receive the commander, can I? After all, we need to guide a new tourist to join. I nodded. There's no need for Florence to lie about this matter. If that's the case, then there's only one path left: the resurrection of the deceased. Where are the people who died while playing? Commander, you've seen them before, even though you've only glanced at them through the curtain. That was in the clinic where the surgery had been performed. At that time, Florence even blocked my view. Are they still alive? Although the spirit was injured, there was no major physical harm. However, even in the midst of the hallucinations, their brain still perceived them as dead, so for a long time I couldn't wake up. This doesn't really mean dying, does it? Mia, Fleur, Esme, Muriel, Perrin. After my arrival, there were a total of 5 victims, all of whom received treatment with Florence and gradually recovered from their symptoms. I remembered what Perrin said, that at some point in time, people began to lose their lives on the facility. Did anyone else die because of this before these people? Florence shook her head. The scope has narrowed down by a lot then. I roughly know who it is. Only one person can do this. Yeah, I am wondering how Commander got drugged out of his fucking mind. I guess that was Florence, to be honest. Oh, are you awake? What a pleasant surprise. It was time for routine treatment again, and Florence came to the girl with the same medical equipment as usual. Is it not that rare for me to appear clear-headed? Of course it's rare, and your body doesn't seem to have taken Oedipus today. Florence habitually tested the girl's physical condition and immediately reported her values. Did you endure it very hard? Florence began to dispense the medicine, but the girl just shook her head. Are you feeling tired? It's still harder, Florence. You've been treating me for so long and my body is still like this. Don't think too much about these. That's what saves me the most trouble. I can cure your body, but I have cured many difficult and complicated illnesses. Everything has an exception, right? Instead of rushing around for someone like me who is already hopeless, it's better to use this energy to do something else. I'm not just working for you for nothing, am I? I am not a philanthropist. Are you referring to that matter? Did I help you repair your body? Are you such a grateful person? I was just casual that day. It happened to be a professional match. You have been helping me maintain my body all along, so let me also take care of your health. Moreover, it had me very interested in unfamiliar illnesses. Although they appeared to have nothing to do with the so-called mutual assistance between people and dolls, based on their own profession and coincidence, they have formed a brief dependence relationship. It seems the same. After checking the syringe, Florence flicked it lightly to confirm that the air had been emptied, and the sharp needle penetrated the girl's skin. Florence, do you want to go with me? To the amusement park? This is the first time she has asked Florence like this, and Florence suddenly hesitated. She was thinking about the meaning of the sentence, whether it was the better one or the worse one. The girl grabbed Florence's hand while she was administering the injection. You know, I love amusement parks the most. Yes, I almost forgot. You are more familiar with amusement parks than me. I can't really live without you. After you fully recover, I will go with you. That's a lie. You're lying to me, right? But it's okay. Even if Florence always cheats me, I'm going to let you come to my amusement park. That is a pretty creepy smile. Florence, soon I will take you to the amusement park together. Strange. A strange feeling suddenly spread outwards from the depths of Florence's core. Although it was just an ordinary conversation, in that moment Florence froze. No, that's not freezing, but being unable to move. Florence seems to have malfunctioned. No matter how hard she tries, the finger that is pushing the injection cannot move any further. Huh? Not only you, but also many people who come to my amusement park to play. Don't worry, I will also play with you. Your pleasure garden. It's not just her fingers, Florence realized at this moment. Almost every molecule in her body seemed to have been forcibly stopped, unable to move, unable to even say a normal word. That's right, it's mine, my paradise. What did you do? Florence's intermittent words were ignored by the girl, and her delicate face twisted with a smile. I guarantee that this is the most exciting and fun amusement park in the world. Let's enjoy this game together, shall we? Although she had never actually been in an amusement park before, the girl spoke such arrogant words based solely on her imagination. I guarantee that you will also be satisfied. After all, you and I are the same kind of person. We are the same, right, Florence? Because the visual modules stopped working, Florence showed a somewhat dull look as if she had crashed. Oh, sorry. You can speak. I would allow it. Unlike the condescending words, the girl struggled so hard that she took out the computer next to her and immediately started debugging after connecting it to Florence's interface. What did you do? Intermittently, Florence is gradually returning to a normal state. Everything has a back door, right? Do you like the malicious code I carefully prepared for you? Please change your permission ownership to me for now. Really, after helping you maintain your body for so long, you don't doubt me at all? Or are you also full of expectations for what I am going to do? The girl lightly tapped Florence's cheek. So the first thing you need to do is help me improve Oedipus. With your ability, it's not difficult to do. Let me think. How about we call this new drug amusement park? Let's have a good discussion about something that I am very interested in. Group hallucinations. A batch of goods will pass through here. This is our only chance. If you insist on making such a bold plan, I cannot guarantee a smooth ending. Do you know that mentioning the failure rate of a plan only makes you more excited? Besides, you can't disobey my orders now, can you? Of course, if you just want to add some ingredients to me by being stubborn, I don't dislike it. However, this doesn't really match your personality. Are you just looking forward to my death like this? Do you think if I die, that will happen to you? Bang! The girl made an exaggerated gesture to simulate an explosion, but Florence remained unmoved and seemed not scared. Are you interested in these people or just want to bash the goods? What kind is it? The girl's fingers slid over the portable terminal, looking at the familiar faces on top, and couldn't help but hum a song again. Maybe there are both, right? This transportation task is all for old acquaintances. This fully means the conditions of being a playmate. It is really exciting. The trap has been set, and the target is about to stop at the ramp. We have a 90-second window, Florence. Let me lure the enemy and start the operation. Okay. It's becoming much clearer now. Her friend is fucking insane. For a moment, I thought she was Anita, because she just suddenly hacked Florence. But no, it's not that. She just fucked with her body while she was preparing her. But yeah, she's a status just like Florence. Ha. Isn't it exciting? Florence, despite numerous dangerous situations, we still succeeded. In this way, everything is ready. New drugs, amusement parks, and the first batch of tourists. Let the Heartbeat Amusement Park open. Okay, that makes everything clear now. The abandoned roller coaster has become muddled due to rust, and the seats look shaky as if they've been abandoned for a long time. For the Yellow District, this is not a strange scenery. I lowered my head and decided to deal with the girl in front of me first. Is there something? The wind blew the small hanging bottles on the girl's body like wind chimes colliding and clinging together. As if scared, the girl in the wheelchair looked a bit anxious, accompanied by her emotional fluctuations. The unknown device she was wearing also made a beeping alarm sound. I'm not that scary when I speak, right? At least judging from what you've done, I'm so gentle that it's a bit scary. What does this mean? What exactly did you mean by what you just said? Is this all an illusion? But what I see clearly looks like an amusement park. Literal meaning. It's you who locked these people up in this abandoned amusement park, isn't it, Esme? Esme? She tilted her head and seemed to have no memory of the name. Except for a few individuals who noticed the anomaly, most people, even those who had repeatedly played the facility, would not remember. From this perspective, her reaction was impeccable. Although I don't know what you're talking about, if we don't continue playing soon, everyone will? What if we continue? No, because the owner of the amusement park has already been caught by me. Got it? Who is that? I approached Esma, placed my hand on the back of her wheelchair, and gently pushed her. Hey, where are we going? Miss Administrator! She called out to Florence, who didn't hesitate and followed her. The owner of the amusement park is Esme, who is you. Is that right? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's start with Esme's doubt first. Among the 5 who died, Esme, you seem to be the last one to join the amusement park. Esme, tell me, how many times have we played this amusement ride? Isn't it the first time? What are you talking about? We just arrived at this amusement park. Wrong. This is definitely not the first time. The frightened woman became even more excited upon hearing these words, and the force on her hand unconsciously deepened, causing Esme, who was struggling to breathe, to make more painful sounds again. You let go of me first. I can't breathe anymore. Yes, you're only playing this roller coaster for a second time. Muriel, you also know Flora's name, don't you? Just a name, it doesn't say anything. That's because she said my name first, so I asked her the name. She said Mia. She and Mia said the same thing, but she didn't go crazy like Mia did. Don't worry too much. I probably played this roller coaster more than 10 times, so I'm sitting here comfortably. More than 10 times? Except for you, who is playing for the second time, everyone else has played twice or more. That's indeed so. That is to say, shortly after you joined the game, all the gradually recovering people died one after another on the facility. This kind of killing is not the danger that parent claim is commensurate with the reward. On the contrary, this is a vicious retaliation, and you cannot tolerate someone gradually returning to normalcy. So I personally joined the game and killed these people who had been cured by Florence. But others are also suspected, aren't they? Of course, but if they, or you, are the murderer, the probability of taking action earlier may be higher. Hey, but Miss Esmond also died, and she was killed by Miss Muriel. Yes, it's my fault. I'm sorry, it's my fault. I messed up everything. Esmond, why is it you? Why are you here? Don't mess up useless things here. Stay away from this batch of goods. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Please don't drive me away. Don't kill me. Don't! Yeah, because she's the real ghost of the horror house. Because she shouldn't have appeared on Body Security's transport vehicle. But she appeared over and over again, causing those poor tourists to repeat what happened on the day they were captured. What's the meaning of this? Muriel and Perrin both think she shouldn't have appeared. What do you think could be the reason? There's too many possible reasons for that. Because she's not from Body Security? Well, maybe. The possibility is very low, because when everyone regained their memories, almost everyone doubted me, but no one doubted Esme. And the reason they doubted me was that we had no mutually verifiable memories. This indicates that, at least in their memory, there was some presence of Esme, who was indeed an employee of Monty Security, but obviously is not from the transportation team. Why? Don't forget, in emergency situations, having multiple people familiar with the job to help is clearly a good thing, but Muriel strongly rejected and disliked her, even explicitly stating the reasons for her disgust. This is just my guess. On the one hand, it's because Esme is not a member of the transport team, so she can't help. On the other hand, her disgust may be due to Esme being a habitual thief of Edith. It's not just speculations, it's complete nonsense. She gave a somewhat contemptuous laugh, and her previous disguise gradually shattered. Nonsense? Esme's job is indeed not in the transport team. She has other jobs. Hey, don't listen to this doll talking nonsense. She's the biggest scammer. Esme, weren't you a doll engineer before? Hurry up and find a way to dismantle her. Okay, that was a good drop. That actually makes a lot of sense. Everything actually clicks with that clue. Yeah. Esme glanced at Florence in panic, then pointed at herself with an incredulous gaze. Me? As a doll engineer for Monty Security, she doesn't need to work for the transport team. Even so, calling her a thief or something is too much. Doll engineers really can't help. Perhaps Muriel only hates her because of this. She? Are you still unwilling to admit that you are Esme? At least it seems that you have also realized that Esme is the culprit behind everything she does. I continued to push her wheelchair, and not far ahead was the most indispensable cliff in the wilderness. Next, let me tell you why Esme can only be you. I quietly released the force in my hands, and Esme's wheelchair lost control and rushed straight forward. She screamed in panic, but no matter how panicked she was, she still couldn't control her body well. At the same time, the distance between her and the abyss was gradually narrowing. Although this improved assistive mobility device is not difficult to set up, there are many more useful tools for people to walk than this one. Her body may already be fragile and unable to adapt to the more convenient methods such as prosthetics. Wait. Miss Florence! Her cries for help sounded hoarse due to the urgency, and I kindly reached out to pull her wheelchair back. When I stabilized her, she was less than half a meter away from the cliff, and her cheeks were already flushed with nervousness, with a small amount of sweat flowing down her forehead. Commander. He's even more ridiculous than me. What I see now, after excluding illusions among the tourists who could not participate in transportation tasks, is only you. Hey, you're not mistaken. Just this. Esme can indeed be anyone, but your body prevents you from becoming anyone in this game except for Esme. Oh. Esme's eyes and voice became aggrieved, but there was still a faint smile on her lips. Sorry, I also noticed what you said. It seems like I'm really Esme, but as you said, everything in the amusement park I quickly forgot. Perhaps after my death and resurrection, my brain damage has worsened, right? She has an innocent face and kind smile. Even if everything you say is correct, I am Esme, I have a serious disability, and I am a doll engineer for Manji Security. So what? The killing since I have joined could have been orchestrated and acted out by Florence, with the sole purpose of framing me in front of you. So she can leave behind the mistakes she made in pursuing excitement without any burden and continue to be with you sweetly. Are you saying that she heals these people, heals me, but can only cover up this behavior by lying and never reveal the truth? All of this is acting? I looked at Florence, who is unusually silent. I think it's not impossible either. I have a more likely idea. Would you like to hear it? There is only one reason why Florence can only seek treatment secretly. And even when faced with suspicion just now, she can only remain silent. Did I say I want to hear your thoughts? You can't stop me. I ignored her cold expression and continued speaking. I guess there is someone who controls her, even has her authority, and most of the time, she has to follow instructions. She followed the instructions and managed the paradise formed by illusions. Even if she wants to cure these people, she can only do so secretly. You wouldn't say that I did this because I'm a doll engineer, would you? Others don't have this ability, do they? I advise you to not resist anymore. Just check the ownership information on Florence, and everything will become clear. Even if you do encryption, the level of engineers on my end is far higher than yours. So you can't investigate me now, can you? It seems that you are also aware that there are no other doll engineers here besides you. It is precisely because everyone except you is a transport team member who was kidnapped during transportation, so when they saw you appear, they were so surprised. Besides, did I tell you before that you called out her name, that her name was Florence? What? All participants, except for you, called her administrator. In theory, if you really don't remember anything like anyone else, how would you know her name? Why did you call her Florence? Sure enough, there will be many interesting things happening in amusement parks. I thought I was getting tired of watching these people scream all the time, but luckily you came. Do you speak for yourself, or do I speak for you? What could I say? After hijacking Florence, I asked her to improve Oedipus for me, and then kidnap these already damn old acquaintances. It's better to play here with me than to continue transporting contraband, isn't it? They deserve to die. What about you? I didn't say I didn't deserve to die. We can just play together. I think you can definitely become super good friends with me too. Thank you, but I still feel this is a malicious insult. However, I still don't quite understand one thing. How did you do all of this? After all, her performance just now was really unimaginable. How does she trap so many people here? I know I am weak. No one thinks I can do anything excessive. So even if their transportation routes were tampered with, the goods were swapped, the transport vehicles were attacked, and I appeared in front of them again, no one suspected me. Just like how you thought you could easily kill me until now. But like an illusion, people always have some cognitive biases towards facts. There are many ways for me to fight. Should I try? I was trying to see its users on screen, but apparently not. No, she's on the raid for real. No, I didn't see your theory on Frida. I wasn't on Discord at all today. Whoosh. Despite being knocked down to the ground, Esmond looked even more excited, laughing wildly as if she had seen something interesting. What other means do you have? I changed my mind. Can you stay and continue playing with me? In that case, how about I guarantee that those people will return healthy and normal? You don't have the capital to negotiate with me now. I will take everyone away, including Florence and you. Oh, are you going to punish me? That's really exciting. Oh god. She's basically human Florence. She's like, please have me, Commander. However, when it comes to Florence, I am curious about how you came to your senses. Everything has a back door. You should know this better than me. Florence has always been trustworthy. What did she do exactly? Esmond's already weak body became almost tattered after the failure of the battle. Her questioning appeared extremely embarrassed at this moment. Did Florence tell you that maintaining the illusion of the amusement park requires continuous replenishment of potions? So she requests that you provide her with a clinic for continuous improvement of the potions, as well as a place to accommodate punished tourists? You speak as if you were on site. Simple administrative work is just too boring. Esmond can understand that it's much more boring than it was in Griffin. So, as Perrin said, Florence used this as an excuse to start trying to treat the tourists in these hallucinations during the reward time. Whether it's Perrin, Mia, or Muriel, they have all received varying degrees of treatment. Therefore, they were exposed to varying degrees of truth, recalled some past events, and even noticed anomalies. The commander noticed this, so he took the initiative to approach them later, right? Unfortunately, even in the end, Perrin did not trust Florence. Other people also went crazy to varying degrees, and you even noticed everything, Esme. That's why you started taking action and killing them one by one, right? Yeah, but it's a pity that someone as difficult to deal with as you came. Esme smiled candidly and nodded as if she had completely taken off her disguise. It was Florence who came to me for help, to be precise. I came here to assist her. Only the commander who cooperated with a doctor like this completed the entire course of treatment with a strong willpower. How does it feel to be cured? Due to the special additives, the commander is now not only mentally alert, but also extremely alert in other areas. Florence's words left me speechless, and I didn't answer her. Instead, I continued the conversation with Esme. Anyway, it was indeed Florence who cured me. Under my surveillance, you dare do such a thing? It really is you, Florence. Never give a pharmacist her own laboratory. However, this can only be considered a surprise, right? Besides, don't you also enjoy playing cat and mouse games? That clinic is the place where Florence prepares and stores medications. But I remember my instructions was to only allow her to inject modified Edith for... After all, my body has been long branded as a commander. After all, my body has been long branded for the commander. Florence walked slowly to my side, gently approaching me, conveying a subtle hint. Speak well. That's the mandatory execution plan given to me by the commander, although it was prepared for some interesting things before. This plan can bypass the authority and directly obtain control of the entity. Although it's only for a short period of time, just one injection is still sufficient. It's probably like a safety word. After all, commanders are always a bit extreme. Even I can't bear it. Wait a minute, don't say such misleading words. Don't be shy, Commander. Esme doesn't understand. Don't make it darker and darker as you paint. I understand. I completely understand. Anyway, it was Florence who betrayed me, right? Betrayal? This word should be used on me, right? From the moment you kidnapped me, you should have known about this. Isn't this result right for your taste? I haven't fallen to illusions. I'm tired of watching you guys go crazy. Isn't this exciting? You should be ecstatic. Yeah, but wouldn't it be unfair if I was the only one enjoying it? After finishing speaking, Esme used her last strength to strike the device at hand. Stop! I took out a handgun and quickly fired 3 shots at the device in her hand, but she didn't seem to input any long commands. She just pressed the button and collapsed in a wheelchair as if she had given up everything. She wasn't surprised at all until the bullets pierced through her device and sparks exploded. However, Florence on the side had clearly fallen into the risk of downtime, with various modules experiencing varying degrees of expended activity, unable to focus and unable to listen and converse normally. It is a mental clearing instruction. I remember she probably hasn't backed up for a long time. Are you out of your mind? I can't stop. After all, the only thing that can affect her mind has already been destroyed by you. And now even I have no choice. Why don't you kill me? Kill me, a terrible human, for the sake of a robot, right? No, even if you don't take action, I'm afraid I'll die soon, right? First of all, you can shut up. I'm not interested in listening to the inner monologue of a loser. Any painful past is not a reason for you to commit a crime. Secondly, I am not interested in judging anyone, so I will not do anything to you for the time being. Finally, you have committed too many crimes. Destroying a doll is nothing to you. Don't try to change your concepts. but I will definitely give you the deserved outcome. I promise. Don't worry. Doesn't she have a safe word? Come on, Florence. Next, let me show you how to manage how to hold on to your mind. Didn't ask, don't care. Right, this one. You see what she says here. It seems that in order to return the commander's side again, I need to make some effort. Commander, will you compensate me well later? Alright, let's read this. My dumb drunk theory was she will have an event where she will learn of her upbringing and background to find nothing of note until she takes off her mask and goes IDW, yeah, and then the IDW joins. Probably not that. Probably not that because we already know that she's has great history with Kralik. Yeah, she's a human, not a doll. Ah. Florence let out a soft scream and then fell onto me. Trying to catch her, I was also pushed to the ground by her sudden weight. Florence. I looked at Florence's expression and tried to determine if she had returned to normal. Is the commander very worried about me? Florence looked at me for a moment, then revealed a smug smile, and her whole body pressed down on me. Did you help her? Mainly relying on herself. Esmond's body, who had reached its limit, made a broken sound. It also reminded me that even in Florence returned to normal, everything was not over yet. If it's okay, just get off me first. Her reaction convinced me that she had indeed returned to normal. We helped Esmond up together, and the Alma was on its way to pick us up. What are you going to do? As a medical doll, what else can I do? Florence and I share the same idea that no matter what the people trapped here have done, trial is not our intention. After curing these people, we will no longer have any interaction with them. However, these illegal drugs, although few were left, were still taken away by Florence as research subjects. Isn't there any excitement about surviving such a big event? I don't know if you succeeded, but more than excitement, I was worried earlier. After all, it's a very exciting thing, so it's okay for the commander to enjoy it more. And even if it really destroys me, it doesn't matter. Sacrificing for humanity is the meaning of human existence. Florence stood up and walked towards the clinic. But now I need to cure these people first. The previous reward time suddenly came to my mind, and Florence's actions entered my mind again. Your treatment method. Commander, what are you thinking? That's all special service for you. Are those unnecessary things really your taste? However, perhaps it was just an illusion, and what Florence really did might just be a simple injection. Commander, is it the illusion of me that makes me look more charming? And you are finally attracted to me too? Anyways, it's just an illusion. The world is inherently impossible for us to perceive, and all we know is our own feelings. So, it's okay to treat dreams as a reality experience, isn't it? Anyway, all that remains in the end are memories. After speaking, Florence suddenly leaned up, took my hand, and pulled me and her to the clinic. Now help me complete the treatment work first. Including Esme? Our treatment may not be as comfortable anymore. By the way, Florence looked up at me with a familiar sly smile. How, if the commander really misses the reward time so much after arriving on the Elmo, I would let the commander experience the truly special service again. I promise it will be much more comfortable than this. As long as the commander can guarantee that I have my own lab, I will let you experience it. She probably did things while he was asleep. Oh, that's it. I thought there was one more. Yeah, that's it. So, a bit of a nothing burger event. Drugs are really fucking powerful. In this verse, it feels like. I kind of wonder what's up with Esme, because they didn't kill her off, so I kind of wonder what's going to happen with her. Yeah, at one point the commander got drugged and passed out during the hallucination, and then Florence did surgery on us. So the commander probably got touched, yeah. Maybe we should stay friends. That's not gonna happen. Not with Florence. That was good. I liked it. Like I said, it was a bit of a nothing burger event. It was honestly really confusing, but things kind of came together in the end. Still don't know how the commander got drugged, but it is what it is. It's probably Florence herself that drugged him. Post-con Star gets wild, probably. Yeah, I was asked to oath Florence, but I think it may be better to hold off on oathing her until she comes out in global. That way we can see the Infinite story in full English and not just scuffed English. Do you think Groza would go full yandere or no? Nomo Groza, no. The other Groza, yes. I think the other Groza would go full yandere. That also seems to be a trend as well, because we have Lentine, who is like combat yandere. Then we have Fukai. Then we have Florence, and now we have Esme. Esme also wants to like have lots of fun with the commander. The forearm Gorza? Yeah, the forearm Gorza. That's what I'm talking about. Commander needs security. I think M4 will be happy at this when she returns. She already knows it. Yeah, she actually already knows it, I'm pretty sure. She's 100% watching all of this. That's a common theory right now. It's the one that makes sense, the most sense. But we also need to keep in mind that Groza, that the four-armed Groza, Punish Groza, also has memories from Griffin. The reason why we know that is because she didn't destroy soft mod. And she will only know who soft mod is based on her memories from Griffin. She made a lot of effort to not kill anyone from Griffin, especially Kalina, who she could have just bulldozed. Mom has so many dolls now. Yeah, hopefully Softmod shows up. Hey Dylan, you actually just missed the entire thing. Yeah, it's all over. The event wasn't that long. In fact, I think like I lost an hour to just technical difficulties and just being late because my parents kept holding me up. They held me for like 3 hours longer than than I should have been out today. But it is what it is. So just for your information, Dylan, it's an alright. I liked the event, but it was definitely a nothing burger. But I will say this is a good introduction to Florence for the people who don't know her. And the main enemy of this one is very much like Florence. They're basically one-to-one. So much so that she also kind of wants to smash the commander. Oh, and by the way, just in case you guys don't know, Esme is human. She's not a doll, she's a human. We do the Bond story as well. So I want to save the Bond story for when she actually comes out in English, so that we can actually read it in good English and not scuffed English. Or at the very least, I want to wait for like actual good translations to come out. Don't forget, 40k mechanics is on sale for $6. Try another game like Girls Frontline 2 or XCOM. Mechanist. Okay. Are we done the Kukai Covenant yet? No, that's been done on Thursday. A freak match. Yeah, it was kind of a freak match between Esme and Florence. Like, they're both trying to one-up each other. But yeah, Florence definitely did things to the commander this event. Although the commander doesn't know because he was drugged. Girls Frontline Smash or Pass tier list. I mean, I think like literally everyone is on the Smash list. Like literally everyone. She did war crimes. She did a PNC, yes, she did. Where can I reach your fanfic? I have not released it yet. I'm just kind of surprised someone asked about that. But no, I haven't put it anywhere online yet. It's just on my PC. What's it about? Basically, it's a take on what would happen in America during the Civil War. I'm waiting as well. Feels rough, man. I'll about to see Girls Frontline fanfics. There's plenty. I've seen a good amount of them on Wattpad. Is your OC involved in it? No, she's not. I didn't want to put any bias towards anyone, so I didn't put Nirvana in there. But basically, I put all original characters that were specifically meant for that fanfic. No, I haven't yet. Besides, you get her in the event for free, so you don't have to pull her. How many people slash dolls in your fanfic? You say people slash dolls. So there's 3 main characters, but there's a lot of original characters because I had to. It's all in America, so I'm not gonna put any like canon characters there because no one was involved except for Martha, and Martha's just not in America right now. Or ever. So yeah, M16 is free. You just had to do the event. Oh, also I learned that M16's name is going to be Beluga. Like, they just straight up said in Girls Frontline 1 that her name is Beluga. which is kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, the USA is the United States is just, it's kind of free, you know. The fans won, yeah. I know, she probably picked it herself, to be honest. Because M16, or rather, the gun names has always been like a Griffin only thing. Like, no one else uses those code names. Is USA still strong, Girls Frontline? It's completely unknown what happened to the US after, actually, it's completely unknown, period. We just know that they use the same technology as everyone else, so there's neural clouds and stuff. Thanks to Martha, they actually did make some of the strongest T-dolls in existence, which is the Daybreak Squad. But that was exclusive to Martha, so they can't replicate that. But overall, they have very strong dolls. They should have the same doll technology. But as far as them lasting after the Civil War, we have no fucking clue. There are some people who say that since Readthrough originated in America, obviously they should have been like the ones involved in doing the URNC. But the issue with that is that the URNC originated with the Pan-European Alliance. So it could be that the URNC is just Europe, you know? Like, that's just what it is. And America is not involved quite yet. They're still handling their own shit. But I would say for sure, by the time the Beaconists show up, there probably shouldn't be an America anymore. Because at that point, well, by the time Reverse Collapse happened, it's just the Antarctic Union and the URNC. There's nothing else mentioned. So eventually, America does get absorbed into the URNC. Eventually. Better red than dead. As far as I know, there is no way for there is no Womb Force 3000. So if a human and a T-doll were a couple, they would have to adopt. I would imagine USA is the last to join the URNC. Well, like I said, the Readthrough originated in the US. So, if anything, they should have been the initiators of the whole thing. Yeah, or Circuit Mother. Yeah. But the only reason why that doesn't work is because right after the war ended, the World War III ended, they immediately went into civil war. And we didn't know how long it was. We don't know who won. But we know very little about the United States, or even the West Coast in general. Or not the West Coast, but the Western Hemisphere in general. We don't know much about what happened to Canada. We don't know much about the United States. We don't know much about Mexico. Anything like that. They just have not focused on them. So really, they can do anything. Like there can even be a possibility that they still exist in reverse collapse, because they aren't ever mentioned at all in reverse collapse, besides like past events. Yeah, basically Mika did everything in their power to make sure that the United States couldn't do anything to get involved. Like, they tried super hard. And the only time that they have been involved was with Daybreak Squad. And it just so happened that the Daybreak Squad is like stronger than just about any T-Doll. Like with all of her buffs, Eliana was just stronger than AK-15. Be shot at Sullivan. Yeah, they probably aren't. That'd be so funny if they're like they've been in Civil War for 40 years. They just took like a year break to repopulate, and then like, okay, let's resume the war. Oh, our population is too small again. Let's take a break and make more babies. Okay, we're good. All right, let's fight some more. Yeah, the United States did become isolationists. Yeah, they did. That was basically the attitude after the Bailing Island incident. Civil War is now national sport, right? Yeah, I think the only dolls that were involved in the United States was Centaurace and basically some PNC exclusives. But the one that we probably care about the most is Centaurace. Russian was birthed in the United States, that's true. But didn't they undermine the US as they felt America would go against the unified plan? It depends on what you mean by undermine. Because as far as I've seen, this is like the biggest issue with the United States and their involvement in the history. So the reason why I find it unrealistic is because the United States did like the worst options every time. Like, forget the whole good side or bad side. I just find it dumb. Like, it's just dumb. that the United States made the bad choice every single time. Because just to clear up the point, intrinsic, the Readthrough didn't really do anything to America. The Americans just kind of played themselves. Because as far as we know, the Readthrough didn't even do anything to start the Civil War at all. There's nothing documented. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's like the meme that Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. That's kind of what they did. The Readthrough just didn't do anything. There's nothing documented on what they did. If anything, the United States almost won because of Daybreak Squad. I wonder where I think that info came from then. It's because it's a popular opinion. But as far as we know, the Readthrough never did anything. There's nothing documented in the confidential files. Not in the first set or the second set. Maybe they'll include something on the third set, but as far as we know, nothing hasn't documented. The only thing, this is like a small thing. The only thing they did was make a Readthrough party called E Clara, and they were trying to rally people behind the idea that the government assassinated Readthrough, which is probably a lie. Like 90% chance that's actually a lie. But they were going the propaganda route to rally people. But as far as we know, that didn't do anything. At least not anything special. Because it didn't put a Readthrough in power, or it didn't put a Readthrough in power. So basically what happened was, they did World War III, World War III ended, and then literally after World War III, the Americans went into Civil War. Nothing else was documented. The man fell down the stairs. But no offense to USA peeps here, but isn't that how it would go? Like politicians being stupid? Well, there's a difference between politicians being stupid and America just imploding all of a sudden. And I say that as a person who lives here and knows full well how idiotic people can be. And I truly mean that, like idiotic. Because regardless of how idiotic they are, ultimately people don't want a civil war. They don't want to have like martial law and pull out guns and start killing each other. They actually don't want that. Even with our two-party system, all they really want is for one side to win, politically speaking. So they'll bitch and complain, but that's all it really amounts to, bitching and complaining. There are some people who go further than that. Like, I don't want to go too deep into politics, but let's just say I do keep track of this stuff for my own amusement. But those are like the most extreme of the extreme. The rest of the people just care about optics. They just care about virtue signaling. They don't actually want to get violent because they don't want to get hurt themselves. And that's the big difference between what's going on in Girls Frontline, where America just implodes and they start a civil war. A new topic: what might the Promethean Researchers do with Shaw's research data? I don't think they actually really want that, though, because Shaw's research data has nothing to do with relics, and the Promethean Researchers were all about relics. That's all they really cared about. They want to involve Florence and audience just about everything. If anything, it was used to make better armor, but I don't think they used it to make better T-dolls. Is there a guy in Ghost Frontline equivalent to Johan with mech parts? Angelia. Not a guy, but as a girl. She's the closest one. Cooler rap to Texas. As far as having a story involved in an official story by Yu Zhong, I doubt he's going to do that, honestly. Like, I know when I made that video, people had the idea that I was really pro-American or something like that. I guess you can say I'm pro-American in the fact that I live here. So yeah, I kind of want to have my country like not suck. So I guess that's it. But really, the reason why I made that video is because I found America to be so dumb that it was funny. Like, people really took that video the wrong way. But I'm actually okay with how Yu Zhong portrayed America. I was okay with that, because he ultimately needed a way for them to like not get involved with his story. Now, with that in mind, I honestly doubt that he would actually do anything with America, because that would mean he would have to get them involved. The only way that he would write about America is if they're already dying, like they're already on the verge of collapse. So I don't think we're going to get like much of a story involved with America at all, really. I would like one though, obviously. That's why I'm making a fanfic. Comments, what's so special about Team Defy not being Relatech? It's just that honestly, they never really explained what makes Defy so good. But all it really had to go off of is that Task Force Defy just has really fucking high specs. And they're all military grade specs, which is honestly rare for a T-doll, at least according to AK-12, because M4 also has military specs. And that's why she's one of the best T-dolls ever. So I think it may just actually be a matter of just them having military components in their body, and that's about it. The world can't escape using Relatech. They can't escape it. It's like nukes. Nukes, but more useful, honestly. It's just too useful. And it's a way to have an arms race. It's a good way to have an arms race. Will you release a summary of where "fuck you, I'm killing William" originates from? I mean, it's in a video where I first say it. I don't think it needs like a. Honestly, if I'm real with you, people don't say it a lot. It's a really funny meme for the channel, a really good inside joke, but it's actually not told a lot. But one thing that irked me is because more is that Russia just went, okay, let's bring back Soviet for the lull of it. It wasn't for the lulz, actually. So, quick story. The reason why the Soviets came back is because the Soviet Party was always a thing, but they were a minority group. So what happened was that during the Bailing Island incident, Russia got hit by the collapse fluid, and complete chaos happened, and that caused the government to fall apart. So while that power vacuum was there, the Soviets actually took the chance to do a coup, and they managed to get in power during that incident. So that's why the Soviets came back. What's this, as a skyscraper? Yeah, I believe that. I think the only sales with military specs are M4, Defy, and Daybreak. Maybe. I'm only saying maybe because the modded versions of soft mod and RO and AR-15, it puts them on the same level as some of the best in SF. So they may also have military specs as well. What's infirm section? What's a military doll actually? I had to watch it again. I don't believe I don't remember military components being a thing. Just that she was a 3rd generation doll, and she was combined with Boojum. So she's basically an Elid. So she has the benefits of the Elite, which is like enhanced strength and shit like that. So she might be a military doll, but she would be a strongest one just from that alone. But yeah, I had to read that chapter again, just to double check. Can Tito survive an EMP? Like in a scene? Can Tito survive an EMP? As far as I know, typically no. But they do have, like, electronic protection. So not just any EMP can knock them out. But yeah, it's almost 12 o'clock. I would like to answer more questions and talk more, but I gotta hit the hay. Today was so busy. And also today kind of pissed me off too. Look, I love my parents. I love them so much, but holy shit, they love to hog my time. So, I will be streaming on Thursday, and it'll be Girls Frontline 2, because I was donated on Coffee, and I was asked to like do some affinity stories and some journals on Girls Frontline 2. So I will be doing that, and then afterwards, I'll go through the crossover event in Girls Frontline 1. So letting you guys know what's going on with that. For now, y'all have a good night. Take care. It's good seeing y'all.